We are ready to rock and roll. We are Mirror Domains. And welcome to the Horror Weekly Roundup Show, where we talk about all the trending horror movie news headlines out there. And I'm just making sure that everything is set up and ready to rock and roll. Okay, guys, this is indeed a live news show where we talk about all the trending horror movie news headlines of the week. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about Cocaine Bear opened up this week. We got trailers for The Pope's Exorcist, The Lake, and It Prequel Series has been announced. So we'll be taking a look at that as well. Okay, but let's start off the show by talking about M3GAN Uncut. Yeah, we talked about this last week too. It was coming out this week. We knew that this was going to happen, right? We knew that the unrated cut now is available on Peacock. So M3GAN Unrated. The clip preview is one of the gory moments we didn't see in the theaters. So, oh, that's the ear scene. Okay, yeah, that's the ear scene. If you haven't seen M3GAN yet, then it's kind of like spoilerish, but I don't think they actually show it here. Okay, so they they do show it, and then I guess if you freeze frame it, then you can tell that it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's makeup, right? Okay, and then the kid gets up and runs away and gets hit by the truck there. Watch me again, says M3GAN. It's weird. This movie just came out, it feels like, and we're here like a month later. It's out on streaming services. You can get the Blu-ray March 21st. Looks like you can get a doll or something of it too, so that's a little bit bizarre. If you're still asking who I am, you need to do better. Watch the unrated edition M3 on digital. The unrated edition, huh? Well. What are you? So we're actually going to see more of that? It's peeling off the skin. I think we saw that though, didn't we? But yeah, they could be a lot more gruesome than that. M3GAN, we saw her using the pressure washer in the trailer, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But yeah, I'll just see how that goes. Are you guys going to go check that out? I think for the most part, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I want to go see it. Sorry, I'm just checking out my live stream chat bar because for some reason it seems to be not working properly. It's slightly malfunctioning. Is it working now? Yeah. Yeah, Art Glass put in some balloons there and said, great marketing for M3GAN, good branding. Yeah, it is. At least I think it is. I'll check it out again. I don't have access to Peacock here in Canada, so I can't check it out. I suppose I could, if I used one of those, what is it? Safe browser things that you can buy, a VPN or whatever. I guess I could, but I'm not going to fool around with that. I've already seen the movie, and I know what gore is, so it's kind of like, I'm no stranger to it. When the Blu-ray comes out, I'm sure it'll be widely available then, right? So, yeah, M3GAN Uncut. It came out yesterday, guys. So if you've seen it, let me know. Is it much gorier, and is it worth it? Like, is that extra visual effects worth it? Because that's what I'm curious to see. Okay. Earlier this week, it was announced that HBO is going to be ordering a prequel series to the It movies. Yeah. So we'll talk about this a little bit more in length today because we just briefly went over it during the week. HBO Max orders It Prequel Series Welcome to Derry from Andy Muschietti. So the director and writer, producer of the It movies, Andy Muschietti, is going to be coming back to get this series off the ground. He's going to be directing the the pilot, and as well as a few other episodes. So that's good. It's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be about how Pennywise came to the town, right? It's called Welcome to Derry. Yeah, Welcome to Derry. and it's going to be on HBO. And I said this during the week too, that I thought we had heard this story before, like last year or something. Like things were going to come out about this, and yeah. So I went back through the archives on Variety's page, and last year we did talk about the showrunners coming on. Jason Fuchs and Brad Caleb came to serve as co-showrunners for this. But at this time, when they announced this was back in early November. Muschietti hadn't been signed on yet, but HBO was the ones that were making sure that this would happen. But it's official now that HBO is going to be having this prequel series, which I liked. I liked the first It movie. There were things, I liked the cast of the second It movie. They just, I don't know, it lost some of its mystique a little bit. Because the way that the original like TV version of it, they did a really good job of mixing the adult stuff with the kid stuff. So they bounced back and forth a lot better, right? So like the movies there was a clear distinction between the kids and the adults version of it, right? We didn't see the adults in the kids version, and we did see the kids in the adult version, but we didn't see they should have had the adult cast in the first movie as well, but we didn't see them, right? And that, I felt like it lost a little bit of its scare factor, for me at least, right? The creepy factor. They needed to do something different with it that would have ramped it up, but because I think I'm not in the minority when I say that the second one was just wasn't as impactful. I liked it still because it had like Jessica Chastain in it and stuff. So, but anyway, it's not going to be dealing with that. It's not going to be dealing with that cast. It's going to be dealing with the prequel, right? Like Bringer says, good news. Yeah, it is. Argos says, looking forward to the Pennywise becoming the clown. Great lore. Stephen King appears to be endorsing the show and signing off without being directly involved. Yeah. Well, if you go on and read these articles a little bit more in detail, you can tell that the directors, the director, Andy Muschietti, and the showrunners, Jason Fuchs, and them are very high on the books. They read it when they were younger, and as teenagers we took turns reading the book until it like fell apart, kind of thing, right? And it is a big book, and it's got lots of material in it that they just couldn't adapt into the movie because it just, you're trying to adapt it into like, what was it, a 5.5 hour movie, like a 1,000-page book. So there's things in there, like there's backstory and stuff that could definitely be brought into this series. And it would just be like it'd be a different cast that Pennywise would be taunting. Obviously, we know how it would end. He would win, right? He would win and then go back to sleep for every 27 years, was it? So yeah, and that's how you would do. Well, that's how you would do seasons. Each season would, like for me, would be just like every time he wakes up to feast, right? So there's lots to mine for material there, I would say. The director, the article doesn't go on to say if Bill Skarsgård is going to come back as Pennywise, but I mean, how could you not do it, right? How could you not have at least Pennywise come back in some fashion? And I'm sure that Bill Skarsgård would come back for that. I know that he took on other forms before he got to the clown, right? He was doing this in Derry for a while. And that's what the story was, right? Like even like Native Americans had interactions with him. So like depending on, you could go all over the place with it, right? There's lots that you could do, for sure. And I'm looking forward to it. No release date or production schedule, but if, let's say that the showrunners came on last year to develop scripts and stuff like that, with insights from Andy Muschietti, I would say maybe hopefully production would start sometime this year. So maybe sometime in 2024 is when this would possibly come into fruition. Yeah. The first earning, we don't need to know how much money the box office made because that won't be relevant here because it'll be on HBO Max. But welcome to Derry, guys. What do you think about that? Would you be looking forward to that? And yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Friday, or I keep on saying Friday Night at Freddy's. It's Five Night at Freddy's. Is starting to film, so at least that one's getting off the ground. Matthew Lillard is on set filming the Five Night at Freddy's movie. Who plays the villain? Matthew Lillard plays the villain William Afton. Posted his first image on the set, so he's the villain. So what? He's the owner of Freddy's. I never played the game, so you guys will have to let me know how this works. If you go over to his social media, you can see him there, and I'm guessing this is his costume. He's just saying, just a confirmation here, right? Prep Day, Friday, or Five Night at Freddy's, William Afton, telling us his name. So there you go. It's getting underway. And we know that this has been in the works for a while. Blumhouse is wanting to get this off the ground, working with the Jim Henson Studios to make sure that the animatronics was going to work for us. He also said his deal is for 3 movies. Really? Five Night at Freddy's is going to be 3 movies? Like a trilogy? Huh. Well, you know, it's from Blumhouse, so Jason Blum, he knows how to make these movies with the budget in mind, that it's possible that, you know, it's going to be a lower budget film, but it's going to make hopefully a lot of money so that they can make these as a trilogy. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, there's a shot that Jason Blum posted of them working on the animatronics. So that's good. It's underway. No release date. Does not yet have a premiere date. No. But if they're shooting it now, I would hazard the guess that, yeah, 2024 is when we're going to see this. I don't think we would see it this year. Things would have to come together really quickly. And I think that this one would have a little bit more post-production work to do with like visual effects and stuff like that, marrying in the CGI with the practical stuff. So, yeah. Okay. Guys, there are all my social media handles. TikTok and Instagram, we're growing. Hey, and even on Facebook, Facebook is growing now, and that's good to see. We're almost at 100 followers on Facebook now, so that's good. People are really enjoying this content here, and if you are enjoying it, you can go over to the community tab and look at our weekly schedule posted up on every Sunday to see what's coming up for the week that's coming up. And hey, we're going over to March next week, so we'll be watching like Mandalorian next week too. We do series watch-alongs for, talking about Pedro Pascal, we do The Last of Us on Mondays. Only, 3 more episodes left in that season, but we're starting Mandalorian this week, so don't worry, guys. There's going to be still lots of Pedro Pascal to feast upon. We watched Woman King last week. Beautiful Creatures we watched. Hellboy we watched this week. David Harbour. Yeah, we had lots of fun with that one. We watched The Fifth Element retro movie for the week. Multipass, indeed. Yesterday we watched We Have a Ghost, a Netflix movie with David Harbour being a ghost. We had lots of fun with that. Last week, on Saturday for our horror movie, we watched The Ninth Gate. And this week, I'm pulling a little bit of a trump card here. And we are going to be watching Freaky today. At 1 p.m., we're going to be watching Freaky. The way that we decide this is by polls. Polls that you can find up on the community tab, where you can go and vote for, what's coming up next. So I'm pulling a little bit of power here. Now, I just checked this, like it's 40% Mama, 43% Freaky. I don't want anything to happen like what happened on Thursday, where I prepped all my thumbnails for Freaky, and then like in the last hour or so, Mama pulls into lead. So no, I'm putting my thumb down on this one, a foot down, and I'm saying that we are going to be watching Freaky in just about under 2 hours from now. We'll be watching Freaky at 1 p.m. Catherine Newton is in that movie. So we just saw her in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, from the director who did We Have a Ghost. Yeah, so we just watched We Have a Ghost yesterday. He also did Freaky. So that's kind of a weird kind of coincidence, isn't it? But it is what it is. And I hope that it doesn't have any too much nudity. I'm looking at the parents' guide here, seeing if they've got any graphic nudity. I'm not seeing much in here. So there's some drawings of stuff that maybe we'll have to be cognizant of. But I don't expect any lots of references to some pretty graphic. I don't care about if people talk about it. I can't show I can't show nude body parts, right? Um, that's going to get us a huge slap on the wrist and take away my live streaming privileges, but we'll take preventative measures in it. Yeah. So, Freaky, 1 p.m., guys. Come check us out. We do a lot of live streaming stuff, so you guys will always have the opportunity to come into the live chats here and participate because we got a good community here. Chris Schober says, I can't wait for Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Yeah. If you played the game, I think a lot of people are going to be anticipating it. Knowing that you got powerhouses like Jim Henson's company there working on the animatronics because they did like the Muppets and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like it's going to be a good production. I think it is. Okay. Let's get back into the movie news headlines after I take a quick swig of my coffee before it starts to cool down. All right. Eli Roth is in the news with a movie called Thanksgiving. Eli Roth's Thanksgiving movie cast Jalen Thomas Brooks and Neil Verlocki. Now, as you can see here, I don't think this is a shot from the actual movie. I don't know. Some guy's head stuffed into a turkey. Thanksgiving is a faux trailer this month is finally getting behind the camera for a feature version of the Thanksgiving, the popular faux trailer he directed for the Grindhouse. Okay, so this is based, maybe this is from the Grindhouse thing, right? Because he directed that next to Quentin Tarantino for Grindhouse. He did the first movie in that, where they did like fake trailers for like Hobo with a Shotgun and stuff like that, which they did turn into movies. So it looks like they're going to be turning Thanksgiving into a movie. Now, I don't know who Jalen Thomas Brooks is or Neil Verlocki, big shot, but it will also star Addison Rae and Patrick Dempsey, who we just saw in Scream 3 recently. So that's cool. Eli Roth are producing. Shooting will begin this March from Spyglass Films. Okay, so the Thanksgiving trailer presents a gory teaser about pseudo movie where a slasher makes his own carving board out of inhabitants of a Massachusetts town that makes a big annual fuss over annual Turkey Day. On the pivotal scene involved, Roth himself separated on his head. Oh, is that Roth? That is Eli Roth. Yeah, he acts in some of his films too, right? He is an actor, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so they kind of turned that into a gimmick, right? Some guy doesn't like a town celebrating Thanksgiving and he goes to wreak some havoc. There was another headline about this. Yeah, about them casting TikTok's biggest star as the lead. I'm on TikTok. I don't know all the big stars. I mostly get. It's hard for me to open up my TikTok because it's like girls dancing and stuff like that, and it's kind of like whatever. Or worse yet, it's like what is it? What's the recent trend? The recent trend is either those teenage look videos, which I tried. It was kind of like, okay, maybe look like a mutant, and the other one was dogs reacting to fart noises. It was like, what the heck is, anyway, I'm digressing. TikTok biggest star. So Patrick Dempsey is not a TikTok star. Who's the big influencer? I think they already mentioned it, right? Huge star as a female lead. So tell me who it is. Addison Rae. Is she a big TikTok star? Let's just go over to the IMDb. Enough with that. I hate it when they bury that in there. Addison Rae. Is she a TikTok star? Neil Verlocki was an actress on Bull TV series. Okay. Jalen Thomas Brooks. She's not here listed on the IMDb. I don't even know who Neil. Is it Nell? Or sorry. Nell. Okay. Oh, sorry. I misread that. Nell Verlocki. Okay. Singer and actress, huh? Fascinating. All right. Let me hear IMDb. The marijuana conspiracy, zoo, bull. Okay. Big shot. So not much. Not a whole lot of credits. She's going to be in something called Zoo. But Eli Roth, you'll recognize him. He did things like Hostel, right? Um, Stuff like that. Yeah, he acted in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards. So he's got Thanksgiving and Borderlands. Borderlands is coming out soon too, right? They're just finishing up some reshoots on that one. I'm hit and miss with him. Some of his stuff worked because I did like Hostel. Cabin Fever was a little bit okay, kind of a rough start. Everybody seemed to rave about Green Inferno, and I was kind of like, nah. And then Knock Knock really just made me angry. That was that Keanu Reeves one where two girls seduce him and then torture him basically to death because they were able to seduce him and he gave in to his animal instincts, right? Interestingly enough, though, Anna de Armas was in that movie, Knock Knock. She was one of the seductresses. I didn't like the way that movie panned out. Finn was interesting. That's a documentary about him trying to save sharks, like the shark industry, the fin industry, like, the people catching sharks to have like shark fin soup, all that kind of stuff, I think. So he's proactive in that sense. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, Thanksgiving. Are you guys going to go check that out? Where are we at? We're at 11:22. Talking about Blumhouse. Let's keep on with Blumhouse stuff. They Listen is coming out. Adds Ricky Lindholm to the cast. We just saw her in Wednesday, right? She was the psychologist or whatever, psychiatrist. Blumhouse horror. They Listen. Okay. Well, that's good. They Listen. What's this about? Previously announced John Cho is going to be in this. Okay, cool. Catherine Waterston. Okay, we like her. She was in Alien Covenant. Lukita Maxwell. Okay. Chris Weitz, who directed American Pie, is going to be directing this for August 25th, 2023. They Listen. All right, give me a synopsis, though, man. I need plot and character details remain tightly under wraps. So stay tuned. Okay, so we don't have a synopsis. Bummer. But the cast seems interesting, right? They Listen. They Listen. Lukita Maxwell. Okay, so that's who that is. Lukita Maxwell. Plot details are kept under wraps. Not smelling a whole lot of... Why, though? Why would they need to have that kept under wraps? I guess maybe they just want to keep like some mystique to it somehow. But John Cho, yeah, we like him. As I said, I like Catherine Waterston. It's a bummer that she hasn't blown up as much as she should be, because she's a really good actress, and I like her work. This is a big cast. Young man, masked figure. Okay, so is it going to be like a slasher flick of some kind? They Listen. Curious that the guy from American Pie is going to be directing this too, huh? An upcoming horror movie from Sony and Blumhouse. I'll keep my eye out for this one, because this cast seems... I'm interested in it for sure. Chris Schober says, I can't wait to see the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 3 March 1st. Yeah, we are watching, guys, next Thursday. Thursday in the morning, we'll be watching Mandalorian. Because I'm going to be adjusting the schedule next week. We're going to try out something. We're going to actually be moving the horror movie news show to Wednesdays, I think. Yeah. So we'll just do a movie reaction Saturday mornings. I need to free up my afternoons on Saturdays. I really do. So we're going to condense some of the things, and we'll be adjusting the schedule. As I said, the schedule is up on the community tab every Sunday. So tomorrow I'll post the schedule, and you'll see what's coming up, because Franchise Movie Day is returning. We'll be watching Scream 4 next week. We'll be watching Mandalorian Thursday morning, and I think Horror Weekly is moving to Thursday as well, because I need to. Retro movies will still be during the week. I just got to figure out where it's going to fit in. It may move to Friday. Friday afternoons will be Retro Movie Day. I think that's what's going to happen. I just need to start to condense things and solidify the schedule. It's working. Like it's really working for us. The channel is growing. People are catching on. It's a bit of a slower burn for us, right? Because while we did topical things a lot, like our movie news shows and stuff, it's very topical. The lifespan of those topic shows were only about 48 hours, and then views just dropped off and would never ever pick up. The strategy behind it here, guys, is by watching all of these movies and stuff, it's called evergreen material. So the lifespan of it is forever, right? The Woman King, people can find that and come to the channel and say, oh, wait, that was recorded live? I want to check that out. So that's got staying power. It starts off small, but then it grows, right? So that's what we need to do here on the channel to make it grow. Is we need more evergreen material, and I need to condense it into I need to make the 6 days into 5 days. I need to figure out a way to do that, because I don't want to get to the point of burnout here, right? So pay attention to the schedule next week. It'll look a little bit different, but and it'll be a little bit of an adjustment for moving this show over to the weekday, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Arglass says I'd watch. They listen for John Cho. Should be okay if Blumhouse was right. Yeah, it should be. Chris Rober says I heard that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni already have season 4 in the works. Yeah, I saw that quote from Favreau. That he had already written season 4, so that's good to go for Mandalorian. And I think that was pretty much a no-brainer, right? All right. Cocaine Bear opened up this weekend, guys, and it's in theaters right now. If you've gone out to see it, I had lots of fun with this. Now, the runtime really helps this. It was only an hour and 30 minutes there. Take 5 minutes off for credits and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not Shakespeare. It's bloody. It's a lot gorier than I thought. Kerry Russell reminded me once again why I fell in love with her. I want to see a lot more work from Kerry Russell. Actually, I want to pull up her resume. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is in this. Ray Liotta is in this. It's not his final film. He's got a few more films on his docket before they come out, because there's a few more in the can that need to go through the post-production process. But they did pay respect to him at the end, saying rest in peace. So we'll take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. And I don't think it's going to come in number 1 at the box office this weekend. Okay, so what else has Kerry Russell got coming up? The Diplomat TV show, and Exploitation's a TV show. So she got more TV stuff coming up. I want to see her back in movies, though. I do. There's just something about her that just pops off the screen for me. Anyway, Cocaine Bear, Tomato Meter. Let's check this out. See if it's come down. Oh, yeah. Okay, finally. Some things have changed a little bit. 70% by the critics, 80% by the audience. And that's finally come down a bit. Like for the longest time there, it was sitting at 84%. And the viewers' ratings were going up. Like more people were registering. But the viewers' audience score hadn't changed. But Cocaine Bear, oh, there, I just refreshed it. 74%. So yeah, see what happens there? And the critics went up a little bit. I had fun with it, guys. It's a romp. And that ambulance scene, I'm gonna oversell it by saying it too much, but I don't want to do that. It's got some charms to it, and if they try to shoehorn in some family value stuff between fathers and sons and mothers and daughters, but don't. That's just to set things up to get people in certain places so they can get attacked by the bear. That's all it was. So yeah, it was charming. I thought about doing spoiler stuff for this. It doesn't really need it. I don't think so. No. And it's going to be okay at the box office. It just kind of like, yeah. Elizabeth Banks said that she would be open to doing more creature features that are, souped up on some kind of narcotics. But other studios are in the lead with that one because of this kind of style, I guess. I think it's going to pay off. It's not going to be number one because Ant-Man and the Wasp made so much money on the opening weekend. It's not going to make over $50 million. It may. I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong. We'll check it out on Monday for sure. So, Attack of the M Gator there. The Asylum teases their own mock buster. So I guess there's going to be an alligator that gets into some drugs and then goes on a rampage from Asylum. So yeah, it's kind of like what the Winnie the Pooh kind of thing, Blood and Honey. They taking those old stories and then made them into horror as well. If Cocaine Bear does big, then yeah, you're going to see other animals souped up on things. This should come as no surprise. Is now playing in theaters. The Asylum whipped up on their own mockbuster, lazy horror comedy. They unleashed a first look at the upcoming project. Hold our beer, coming for you this summer. This summer. They whipped this off in a matter of months. So then it's going to be extremely low budget, really low budget, probably on Birdemic qualities, right? But I don't know how movies like this get made and are profitable, but they are. You go to Tubi and you look at the horror section, and it's full of movies like this. And it's like, how did they make money on this? How? I don't understand it. I really don't. But anyway, you're going to get a lot more movies like that. So brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Drug Gator. Or even, what did Elizabeth Banks say? She wanted to make a shark one, right? Oh, well. We'll have to see. The Exorcist reboot is coming up. And we got some casting for that. Jennifer Nettles joins the Exorcist reboot in a major role. Okay, so do you know who Jennifer Nettles is? I didn't, so I had to Google her. The Exorcist, David Gordon Green's Exorcist reboot. It's gonna, it's like a requel, right? It's gonna look past the events of number 2 and number 3, even though I guess number 3 was connected to the first one. Heretic, whatever. Okay, this is going to be like a direct sequel to the first one, though, right? From David Gordon Green. And it's going to be slated for this October 13th. Leslie Odom Jr. is going to be in it. Eileen Burstyn's coming back. And it's going to be the first film in a trilogy. So just Jennifer Nettles. Let's pull up her IMDb. Take a look at this. Actress, composer. Really? She composes her own music. That's cool. I look at her pictures and I don't recognize her from anything. So, actress, The Righteous Gemstones, Harriet, Sugarland, featuring Taylor Swift. Music video. What? I was not aware of this. Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors. Okay. So she's a singer of some kind? Fascinating. Sugarland. Actress, huh? She's going to be in The Exorcist. The Exorcist. You don't recognize her at all. I'm sorry. But I am interested more in the Exorcist property. So let's just go over to that, James. It's going to be about 2 hours, right? Okay. October 13th. Sequel to the 1973 film. Yeah. Okay. David Gordon Green. It's going to have Ellen Burstyn and Leslie Odom Jr. Okay. I don't recognize anybody else here from the cast. But it doesn't even say what it's going to be about, right? It's going to pick up years later, obviously. That's a creepy mock-up poster of kind of like her coming down the stairs. But whatever. David Gordon Green. Oh, God, Jesus. He did Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, right? Ooh. Oh. I don't know if this bodes well then for the Exorcist. I know that a lot of people really liked Halloween Kills, but Halloween Ends really didn't land for me. I said my piece about it. His resume is definitely mixed. I wouldn't say that there's anything standing out here that makes me go, ooh, you got to check out this film from his. But he's got lots of work on the table for him. Score, Hellraiser, director. Yeah, he's going to be directing Hellraiser TV series. Not the movie. And that Hellraiser series apparently is not going to be connected to that reboot that came out last year. And then he's got The Exorcist. So we'll be holding our breath to see if he can land this one. Yeah. The Exorcist. This year, guys. You're going to check it out? Let's keep on the theme here of... Arglass says, bring on the pea soup. Yeah. I guess we can look forward to Shark on Speed and Spiders on Mushrooms. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. This week, the Pope's Exorcist trailer was released, and I did a trailer reaction for it. It's up on the channel, and it's got zero buzz. Nobody's talking about this. Like, I think... I don't know if exorcism movies have run its course right now. I think there's just... people are tired of the tropes, right? They're tired of the floating head, the floating bodies, and the eyes rolling back, and the kids. It's always the kids that seem to get possessed, right? Or young people, and it's just, for me, the trailer didn't really wow me too much. Like, it was fascinating to see that Russell Crowe was going to take on this kind of material, and that he's the Pope's exorcist. But yeah, the kid doing the thing, the eyes rolling back, him having like telekinetic powers, throwing people up against the wall and making them float. Having people float is the one thing that makes me kind of like, takes me out of the film. And if it's used sparingly, it's effective. But it seems like, oh, we're doing an exorcism movie, so it's got to be people floating. What's an example of me saying where it's effective? It's not quite an exorcism movie, but I would say the floating stuff was effective for things like Hereditary, when she's like floating, cutting her. Yeah, like that's creepy. Or maybe even in The Witch, at the end when you see them all begin to lift off the ground. That was creepy. It was creepy. But you would say that them floating off the ground is pretty common fare. You should be expected to see that in an exorcism story, and it's kind of like, I'm not really scared about it, this kind of stuff, because I don't believe in this kind of stuff. I do believe in a higher power. I just don't believe in demons or anything like that. So April 14th is when this is coming out. Let's take a look at some of the comments, actually. See what some of the reactions are. What I love about the Exorcist stuff is that demons that possess can snap necks, levitate, throw stuff across the room without touching them, but they can't get out of bed. Yeah, that trope needs to go too. They need to update it somehow, which they were sort of touching on with that Constantine movie, making them do other things and then being just hunkered to a bed. Russell Crowe is in an Exorcist movie. I think horror is finally getting some recognition of how awesome it is. Well, it's been awesome for a while. And people say that like Tom Cruise with Top Gun Maverick saved the theatrical experience. Somebody I follow, she loves horror, is said something this week. Clark Wolf. She said it was not Top Gun Maverick that's saving it. It's all these small horror movies that's like getting people out to the theaters, like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Terrifier 2. People are coming out to see these movies, and that's saving theaters more than it is Top Gun Maverick, which is debatable because Top Gun Maverick did make 1.4 billion or something like that. But like the smaller movies definitely do contribute. That's what I agreed with her on that point. But she's a horror buff too, and I do like her work. Anyway, I'm digressing here. right? For the most part, it looks like people are anticipating this. So maybe I'm on the wrong side of the fence here. Russell Crowe is stepping into a whole new character role. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, people are oddly interested in it. And my little trailer reactions to it, well, they're getting the views. Did you guys check it out? The Pope's Exorcist? The Pope's Exorcist. The Lake trailer. Let's take a look at this. I do like monster movies. The Lake, giant practical monster from the Mist and Cloverfield artist, comes to the U.S. in March. So you can't quite see anything here. It looks kind of like something out of, well, The Thing. It's got like weird arms and stuff like that. Mutation. So The Lake is being unleashed on the U.S. here in early 2023. The new trailer. The plans are to release March 10th in limited theatrical release and March 14th on digital platforms. So it's a foreign film, huh? In The Lake, a gigantic bloodthirsty monster emerges from the lake after its egg is stolen and it unleashes fury on a town's inhabitants. Okay, so it's like a mama monster that comes to wreak havoc. Let's check out this trailer. I do like a good monster movie. So, let's just take a look. Ooh.
หายไปนานเลยนะโยม ตอนนี้เป็นยังไงบ้างล่ะ
คงต้องเริ่มเล่าตั้งแต่จุดเริ่มต้นเลยล่ะครับหลวงพ่อ
I don't know what language this is, so my bad.
บอก
I like
อา
that.
ตมา
Seeing the footprints.
แล้วทำไมตอนนี้ล่ะมันต่างกันยังไง
Oh, so the kid took the egg.
กลับมา
That's not good. A little bit inspired from Godzilla a bit, huh? It's a little bit like a crocodile. Yeah. Okay. That looks interesting. So it stood up on its four legs. Fascinating. The lake. So it's going to have like practical effects for like its snout, but then it's going to have CG stuff for when it stands up. And it looks like it does stand up on all fours there. So it's somewhat of a kaiju. It's at least one story there, maybe 2 stories tall. Yeah, fascinating. The lake. My friend in live chat says, hey. Hourglass says, this is from Thailand. Okay, it's from Thailand. Yeah, cannot wait for this movie. We are happy to speak with Leo Tong Cam on our YouTube channel. This is monster. What is this monster? Does anyone know? Oh, so it's only got my baby mama. It's a new kaiju. Well, yeah, I do like big monster movies. The Lake from Thailand, says Hourglass. Thank you very much for that information. Fascinating. So you heard that in March 13th is when it's going to be on VOD, right, guys? And then limited theatrical release that week. It's going to be up against things like 65 and Scream 6. So I don't know if people are going to go out and see that in limited release. I don't know. All right. That's all I got on the slate here, but I do got just a few more stories to pull that we can talk about. Hellboy, the Crooked Man, aims to be R-rated for a folk horror movie. Yeah, we just watched Hellboy 2019 on the channel, and I had fun with it. I did. And it's being announced that they are going to be rebooting it. So they're not going to be doing any more with David Harbour. They want to make a younger Hellboy, and they're going to use the Crooked Man storyline from the comics. And it's going to be R-rated. Folk horror movie. This was the Baba Yaga, right? From 2019 version. Anyway, yeah, Hellboy the Crooked Man is based on book. Yeah, we know that. Starting production next month in Bulgaria. So it's going into production from director Brian Taylor. Would most definitely be rated R. I pitched an R-rated folk horror, and the team here at Millennium have nothing but supportive. Have been but supportive. It's a great group of people, and they love horror. So folk horror. A younger Hellboy wandering the dark corners of the world, a version of the character we haven't quite seen on the screen to date. So is it not going to be about his father that saved him or anything like that? It's going to be a young Hellboy wandering the earth. Are they going to retcon some of the lore? Because it was in the 2019 version, they said there was the Nazis that summoned him, right? So I don't know the lore. I never read the comics, guys. So a younger Hellboy. So they're definitely not going to be using David Harbour. Guillermo del Toro's not going to be coming back. So the new film will see Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent stranded in the 1950s. Okay, so they'll still have a little bit of continuity there with the Nazis. Rural Appalachia. There they discover a small community haunted by witches, led by a local devil with a troubling connection to Hellboy's past, the Crooked Man. Well, I did have fun with the 2019 version. It did have some really good visuals in it, but they got to keep that budget low, man, because the last one didn't fare well at the box office, which is kind of a shame because as I said, it wasn't that bad. Keep my eye out for that. If it's starting production pretty soon here, maybe we'll get our first glimpses pretty soon as to what the new Hellboy is going to look like. And take a look at that angle. Opening up in a couple weeks, guys. Scream 6. The Statue of Liberty is ghost-faced on an official Scream 6 poster from Creepy Duck Design. 2 weeks. See if I can open up that image in a new tab. Yeah. 2 weeks. Scream 6, starting to get hyped. And we're going to be going back to Scream 4 next week. We'll be watching that. And then the week after that, we'll be watching Scream 5. Just in time to watch Scream 6 in theaters. And I'm starting to get a little bit hyped in my anticipation. Yeah. Knock at the Cabin is now available at home. Really? This is just guys, it just came out February 3rd. That's a really fast turnaround. That's I liked Knock at the Cabin. I liked it better than Old. Old fell apart for me in the third act. Both are from M. Night Shyamalan, but Knock at the Cabin landed for me. It did, mostly because of Dave Bautista and the setup and how just kind of grim. It's grim. You never expected it to go there. And I know the religious people won't like it because it kind of like questions people's faith and stuff like that. So I liked it. So it's now available. Really. February 3rd. It's now available on PVOD at home. You can rent for $20 or purchase it for $25. Huh. But it's still in theaters. That's what I don't get. Still in theaters. Let me just pull up my theater tab here and see if it's still playing. Maybe I misread it. Maybe I misread it. But it was good. Let's check out the Tobacco. Ant-Man and the Wasp. VIP. Cocaine Bear. Jesus Revolution. Katak the Brave Beluga. Luther the Fallen Sun is also playing, huh? Marlowe still playing. Avatar. Titanic. Mike 80 for Brady. Knock at the Cabin still playing. So you can still go out in theaters and see it. That's strange. It's only a 9 o'clock showtime though. Missing is still playing? Ah, fascinating. Well, there you go. All right, guys. That's it for me, pretty much. I don't really have that much more on the table. What do you guys think about me moving this into the weekly schedule somewhere? So I'm trying to free up my weekends to avoid burnout because I'm pumping out a lot of material. And I want to focus in on material that gets views, that drives people to the channel. And oddly enough, I enjoy making those little shorts. I do, because it gets into my creative side. I do like the long form content. I do like doing these shows. It's just they don't get the views. And I need to do more shorts so that people come to the long form content so we can get more views. Just taking a quick look at the Joe Blow rundown here. Stolen Youth Inside the Cult. Nokibo review. Eva Green and Mark Strong in a psychological thriller. Thanksgiving. Yeah, we talked about that. Scream 6. International pre-orders. Popcorn Tub. You can get a ghost face popcorn tub. Okay. Jennifer Nettles. Primary role in Exorcist. Yeah, we talked about that. The Power. Scared to Death. Bill Moseley. Lynn Shay find horror in abandoned orphanage. Well, that we might have missed a quick headline here. Lynn Shay, she's from the Conjuring series, or no, the Insidious series. You recognize her. Yeah, Scared to Death. An abandoned orphanage, huh? Written and directed by Paul Boyd, Scared to Death will tell the story of a group of young filmmakers who enter an abandoned children's orphanage in order to do research for a movie. And that's their first mistake. Scared to Death. So it's kind of like people who, like urban explorers? An abandoned, yeah. And then let me guess, the orphanage is kind of like possessed or something. Scared to Death. Or maybe it's kind of like there's some squatters in there that capture them and torture them. But Bill Moseley, he was Otis in Rob Zombie's movies, right? Yeah. He's one of Rob Zombie's go-to men. All right. Interesting. Scared to Death. Keep our eyes out for that one. The Park, kids battle for control over a theme park. Swarm had a trailer, but that's the TV stuff. I don't need whatever. Becky 2. The Wrath of Becky. Did I even see the first Becky? Thanksgiving, yeah, we talked about that. Welcome to Derry, Cocaine Bear. The Bedlam, Patricia Heaton. Fears monstrous presence in horror. No, I don't. That one gives me pause. What's that about? I'm going to see Scream 6 and then going to post on my TikTok account. Okay, cool. What are your thoughts on Scream 7? And I don't know. Scream 7? Don't know if I want to get too ahead of myself. The Wrath of Becky. She's back. Did you guys see the first Becky? It's on Netflix, huh? Netflix thrillers. No. Oh, okay. The first Becky. Okay. Huh. Becky. Oh well. That Patricia Heaton story though. That one. Here's the thing about Patricia Heaton. Everybody loves Raymond. She was like the wife in that. I understood that she was very religious, and she looked down her nose at a lot of stuff. She didn't want any association with anything that had like a bad or negative clout. Let's use that word, negative, that would look bad at society. So I'm really surprised that she would take on a horror franchise, but maybe she needs the work. Hey, when you work's work and horror's horror, whatever. You're an actor. Challenge yourself. That's what I say. Don't let your religious views necessarily get in the way of you following your dream. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I got. Let's just finish up with some live comments here. What are your thoughts on Scream 7? Well, I think they're going to make it. I don't know if it's going to be with the same directors. We'll have to see how this one fares. If Scream 6 bombs, they're going to change direction with the directors, because the same directors from Scream 5 came back to do Scream 6. And if Scream 6 doesn't perform as well as they want, then they're going to have to change directions. But I think Scream 7 is going to get made for sure. And do I think it will have Sidney Prescott? I hope not. I hope she's done. I said my piece with that. We don't need her in the movies anymore. And you'll see that when we do our full live watch-alongs as we get into 4 and number 5, especially number 5. I'm going to highlight that we didn't really need Sidney in number 5. And it was a good passing of the torch movie. Okay, Arglass says, you deserve the weekend streams. Great seeing the channel build, plenty of to look forward to. Yeah, for sure. Now, there's still going to be content. I'm still going to post content, but it's going to be all pre-made stuff that I'll make during the week. It'll be stuff highlighting stuff that we did. It's just I noticed, especially coming this Friday, I was starting to feel a little bit of that burnout. Kind of like, I don't know if I really want to watch this movie, but it's on the schedule. I was going to do it anyway. And I haven't really felt that yet. So it was kind of like, okay, maybe I need to start to pull back a little bit, because it would be traditionally, I would just do this show today and then that would be it, right? Or maybe we can move the horror movie into the week and still do maybe we can still do the horror movie news show today, but we'll move the horror movie into the week. But we already have we'd have to move it to Fridays, the horror movie onto Fridays. I don't know. I'll look at the schedule. I'll spend the rest of my time looking at it for the week. But we will be watching Freaky today, guys, at 1 p.m. Yeah. Because, there's things that I want to do. I want to play guitar. I want to write stories. I want to draw. And by the time I'm done, do you think that I'm done like at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. when we're done watching movies? No, I got to do all these little shorts that I put out, and that takes time. It does. Like, hours seem to melt away like in minutes for me sometimes, where it's like I'm done at 3, but I'm not actually done doing all the stuff for the channel until about 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And then when I sit down to do, like, pick up my guitar, and like, notice that that's really cut back. And right, I used to pick up the guitar and jam at the end of shows, but it's kind of like there's just no time for it, because now I got to go have my breakfast and get ready to do our show at 1 p.m. And then when I'm done at the end of the day, it's kind of like 8 p.m. I don't really have a whole lot of energy to do a whole lot of other stuff, right? But I do like it. So, I'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll condense it all into there. It just takes good planning for me to think out the process and prepare. It's all in preparation, right? To get it all off the ground and working. But we are growing, and I'm really happy with the state that we're growing. As I said, the YouTube channel is going up like this. All of the metrics are going up like this, and we got to keep it like that, right? I know spontaneity is your strength. To be scheduling something can be okay at the time you think of it, but then when you have to feel it when it's on, that's the thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Because how many movies do we watch during a week? We watch, this week we'll be watching 5 movies this week, right? That's a lot. Plus Last of Us. And then next week we'll be watching Last of Us and Mandalorian. I got to prioritize Mandalorian, right? I'll figure it out. I really want to get back into doing those shorts, because those shorts, those are fun. They are fun. With the split screen, that's what I want to do. I don't know why I never thought about it before. It was just cool, and I can play with it. I can play with it and get into character for presentation and stuff like that, which is what draws people in. So there it is. That's the Horror Weekly Roundup for this week, guys. What did you think? That'll close this off for February. So I'll see you guys in March for our next show. And as I said, it could be moving into the week, but I think I will keep it on Saturdays. I may move it to 10 a.m. though. I don't know. Well, I'll see. I'll figure it. I'll cogitate over it for the next day or so and post it up on this community tab tomorrow. I'll post the polls for next week as well up tomorrow as well. And that's it. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.